I'm Ernesto Garcia from the Greater El Paso Association of Realtors. I am your Governmental Affairs, Communications, and Marketing Director, getting a chance to speak with our head speaker today, Jared James. You spoke at REALTOR Rally 2022. How was the atmosphere coming down here at El Paso?
First off, you've done this before. That was very good. That was first take in case anybody's watching. First take, amazing. Atmosphere is awesome. Like I was just saying to somebody, the setup even of, the theater style where people look, they're ready to learn, they're ready to go. Right from the beginning, I could tell that they were going to be a very easy audience. Like they were hungry for... I think right now there's so much uncertainty, and I think that people are getting just bludgeoned with the market's doing this, the market's doing that, and a lot of it's not based in reality. But unfortunately, when the news and other places say things over and over again, if we're not educating them, our consumer, then it becomes the optic. And it becomes what we have to fight against. And I could tell right off the bat with some of the stuff I was talking about that, it was almost like them being like, yes, like that's what we're seeing right now. And so I could tell they were going to be a fun, relatively easy audience, meaning they were hungry to kind of see what do we need to do in this market that we're heading into, because if we only focus on the fact that the market's shifting, we don't focus on the fact that we need to shift. And if we're not careful, the market will shift away from us.
There's two main points. Now, there's so many points that you had out. For those that were here, and we thank our MLS department for bringing you here and making this a part. A lot of people learned a lot of things. Two of the main takeaways that I took is, number one, what we see in the media and what we see going around isn't necessarily what's going on. There's always an expert who thinks they know it all, and they truly don't.
Who would have thought that? Who would have thought the media would ever say something that wasn't reality? That's a shocker.
The second thing I know you brought up is content, video content, getting out there content. It is the way to change things around. New realtors, older realtors, how do they make that change?
Okay, so I'll actually say something I didn't say during the session that is very important. One of the number one things we have to be, I mentioned how, a lot of us didn't get into real estate to become a content creator, which is very true. Just like my brother didn't get into fixing cars to learn how to use computers. But if he wants to continue to be a mechanic, he had to learn how to use computers. So we need to be content creators because that's how we're getting in front of people today, right? We used to be an industry where it was enough to get in front of people when they were ready to buy and sell. Now we have to get in front of them when they're ready to learn. It's a longer process. But what I didn't talk about today was that the winners from this audience, the winners from the people, anybody listening to my voice or seeing me right now, they're going to have a content library. And what I mean by that is winners moving forward are going to have a content library, meaning that library of the kind of content that your people want to hear about, the questions they want answered, they're being watched all the time, whether you're there or not, right? Statistically, since I started this event to right now when you and I are talking, over 1,000 people watched my videos online. I'm not there. I shot it one time. It's done. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And the beauty about real estate content is when you answer questions, and just look at your emails, look at your text messages. What questions do people ask you? That's your content. What's the difference between a pre-qual and a pre-approval? At what point do we get the inspector? Who pays for this? Whatever that content is, whatever anybody's asking you, the beauty that no one pays attention to is that when you create that content and you create that library and you put it up on YouTube or wherever it's going to be, the people who are going to consume that content right now, because it's for them, it's relevant to them, it's whatever, are not the people 3 months from now that care about that video. That same video lives for the next group of people who 3 months ago didn't need to know the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification. They weren't looking for a home. But now that same video you shot once, now 3 months later, whole new group of potential consumers watching it with the same video that you never had to reshoot. Just like my business works. I do a team training. Right now, people who aren't in real estate don't care about it. 5 years later, all these new people are watching that same video. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And that's the part that not enough of us are paying attention to, is the lifespan of having a content library just by answering questions.
Always makes the difference.
That's it.
Then let me ask a question for our new realtors that are getting their business started. What's the first thing they should do?
Well, that's simple. That's super simple. Outside of get a coach or something like that. But honestly, the real thing I would tell you is it's boats over fishing. This is the mistake that everybody makes in real estate. Is who wants to fish. Everybody wants, if you want to catch a fish, you throw a line in the water. If you want to catch a lot of fish, you throw a lot of lines in the water, but you better have a bigger boat, right? Fishing is lead create. And so, it's the idea that you wouldn't go shark fishing in a canoe. And so what happens is that it gets into the business and they're short-sighted. They're business. Lead creation. That's all they're caring about, right? But at the end of the day, what happens is that you build a prison around yourself when you do that. Because eventually you become successful but you hate your life because all you did was create an influx of business, but you have no infrastructure to actually handle that business. That's what the boat is. So the first thing you do when you get into real estate, before you get crazy, before you go fishing, is you build the boat. You get your CRM in order. You get your TC hired, your transaction coordinator. You build the infrastructure that's going to allow an influx of business to come in without ruining your life.
And eventually you get to say, I think we need a bigger boat.
That's it. But you start building a boat now, right? Most people never even get to the boat. You know, they're driving around in a big ocean in a kayak. You know, and it just doesn't work, right? And how many people, how many agents do we have to talk to before we realize that's the case? And the truth is, it's not talked about, it's not taught, it's not, it's just, we go to real estate classes, they teach us how to be an attorney. They teach us everything but like the real stuff that actually matters when it comes to our real estate business. So my number one piece of advice is slow down a second, right? Like build the boat, then you go as much fishing as you want because you can actually handle the fish.
People want to see more of your content, want to know more. They missed out. Oh, I couldn't make it. I had this event or something. How can they keep up more?
I mean, I'm all over. So the easiest way is just go to connectwithjared.com. If you go to connectwithjared.com, all of my different social sites, our podcast, everything is on there. If you're interested in doing more with our company, go to jaredjamestoday.com or just Google Jared James. I mean, that'll work as well. But we look forward to doing that. I really do try to give as much information as possible to people in this industry because they use this career as a way to take care of their families, to further their lives, to further their legacies, to do all of these things. And, I take that really serious. So reach out anytime, guys. Shoot me a DM, a direct message. If you have a question about something you watch from us, something like that. We'd love to work with you guys in some capacity. But to all of you that showed up, thank you. I love being with you guys. To all of you that didn't, you're dead to me. But you've got another chance, another year to make it up. And hopefully I'll get to meet you guys in person.
We'll have more with Jared James. Of course, you can find him on our website, elpasotx.com. We'll put the links and everything such. Thanks for watching on YouTube, also on Twitter, TikTok, Reels, and also Facebook. So thanks for Jared for coming by.
No MySpace?
We don't have
I'm just kidding.
We don't have that for it anymore. Forget Going with GEPAR.